Hi guys, welcome back to Health Impact, and today we're going to be just picking up where we left off, and we're going to be talking more about red flags and as well as conflict in relationships.
Ooh, let's get into it. Okay, so first off, we know a lot of relationships have like red flags in them, but Sibukazi Thabo, what is your like common red flags in a relationship?
In that fashion.
Do I have
Starting
red
off
flags?
strong, hey?
Do I? Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I think my red flag would be, I'd say overly independent to a certain extent. Like, I feel like, okay, because I don't want to say it's being impatient, no. Because I feel like I'd ask you to do something, and then if it's not done at a specific time, then I feel, I could have done it better or quicker. So that's a red flag. Something I'm working on, because then I need to like give grace to those that I'm asking help from. And it makes it difficult for me to even ask for help to begin with. So that's also another red flag.
I don't think I get it. Is it a red flag from a guy or a red flag in you?
I think
It's yeah. I was talking about myself. Yes. Okay, a red flag in a guy. There's many. we can start in J.
There's many.
There's many.
Guys,
red flag.
My gosh.
If you don't smell nice, guys. Red flag. If you no. Actually, I don't have a lot. I'm joking. But I think a red flag is how you treat others. Like if you're not kind, like if you're not nice. Yeah. I've never dealt with a not nice person, so that would really be what you're doing. You?
I'm not a nice person. Red flag on me. I tend to care less. How do I say it? Nonchalant? Yeah, I tend to be like that. I don't do it on purpose. Like literally. But then I have that part of me. Whereas others, they see, they say, green flag. I don't know how does that come. What could be the other one? At times, so I'm in ambivert, by the way.
Okay.
Am I? Yeah, I'm in ambivert. So you wouldn't understand me in such a way that the other time I'd give you this energy, you know? Yeah, communicating with you and everything goes as smooth. And then there are those times when I'll be giving you this energy, from that to this. To think maybe I'm mad at you or something, only to find out it's me, it's not you. I'm just in my introvert mode. You ask me a question, I give you a straight answer. I don't explain, I don't become that bubbly Thabo, you know? And yeah, I do not become a certified yapper.
It sounds like the battery is low.
Something like that. But then it doesn't mean whether it's low. It doesn't mean, it's just other part of me. Yeah.
So it's like, okay. So if you recognize that about yourself, but you don't like communicate that to your partner either, that you're just not in the mood to like talk and.
Well, I feel like that would be rude. Personally, I feel like that would be rude. If you're my partner and you feel like talking to me, I should just, reciprocate the same energy. Communicate with you. I should just try by all means to, since ever I am, just switch from being an introvert to extrovert. Since ever I'm a bit of both. As an ambivert, you should just know how to balance the two. So, yeah.
Okay, so what about like, that's red flags in yourself. What about red flags in like a girl?
That was actually an interesting question because I used to be with this other girl who was thick, okay? And then she saw me in a picture with this other girl. I went on a date with her and then she's thin. She was like, you don't have a type, nah? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm honestly speaking, I'm all after a character,
Oh.
an attitude. If I look at you as a woman, look at you, I should be able to see first a wife.
So
Okay?
in all women that you see.
No, I'm saying if I am to go to you and I
Oh,
look
like
at
want to
you,
pursue you.
yeah, I
Okay.
should see the mother of my children.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to be convict about it. Say, there's a woman who's gonna, hold my family together. What am I doing if, I look at you and I don't see that? What am I doing? Why should I even waste a second on you? Unless if you are a client and you are working, that's it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so now my follow-up question is like, when it comes to red flags and pet peeves.
Did you tell us your red flags?
Yeah.
My bad. I don't know. I'd say. Okay, myself, I'd say I switch moods very quickly. Like not very quickly. Like I wouldn't be like maybe today I will. Maybe like today I'll be like maybe like very happy and excited, right? And then maybe like tomorrow if I'm working or something I'll be like a lot of stress, so I wouldn't be like as communicative as I was like today or something like that. But otherwise I'm like I don't know. I think my red flags are also like I get way too jealous way too quickly. But I don't know if that's for all women. Comment down below if it is. But either way, I would say in guys, laziness.
Oof. Clack.
Laziness, like guys, no, that's my biggest red flag. And also if you don't have any goals, like any vision for yourself. Like I know there's like a lot of guys especially that are out there that don't know what they want to do with their future. Maybe they're done with matric, they don't know if they want to study grade 12, they don't know if they want to study further or if they want to work or whatever. But then it's like that's okay, I get that, but like at least have like a vision for yourself. Like you like know where you want to go, know what you want to be. Like if you know like okay you like acting, then okay cool, like I don't care what you like to do, I'll support you in anything, but like just at least have a vision for yourself instead of just like floating through life.
With that being said, just a quick question. I've met a few gents who didn't know what to do up until they were in a relationship, and then that spark of growth mindset only was born when that person was in the picture. So is it something that you would be willing to do since ever somehow, or I may say it's a red flag for you?
It's a red flag for me, big time.
So it's no.
It's a huge no. I think it's very important for somebody to aspire to be good for themselves, to better themselves, because then that way they are able to also take on the responsibility of somebody else when they are able for themselves. The thing is, now when that person is out of the picture, then all of a sudden, Muntu is getting sick, work is not going well. It's too much. I think goes back to even last week when we shot our episode about being a whole person. Like, do good by you so you can be able to know what to do good for the next person as well.
Yeah, and like also that like where it's like you get to find out what you want to be while being in the relationship. Okay, I understand that, but like for the 12 years that you had schooling and everything happening, you were growing up, you never aspired to be something, you didn't have like a goal or something, even if it's as stupid as like, okay, not stupid, but like even if it's like something small like being a police officer or a firefighter, or like something that's difficult to achieve in South Africa. Like there's a lot of careers that you can go into, but that's like very difficult to achieve in South Africa.
Actual science?
Huh?
Actual scientist?
You. Yeah, that
Okay.
thing.
That, whatever. You know, but like, at least you have a goal in mind. Because now you get into a relationship and then you talk about it, then you're like, what do I want to be? Like, come on. You really didn't think about that. For the 18 years you were on the planet.
Yes. You know, I always find it unfair that, a guy can be able to settle for a woman like that.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
there are women out there that
No, but we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that because I feel like the reason sometimes why men settle for a woman like that is because they'll be able to be superior over her.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they'll be able. They'll. I feel like it's an ego brush.
Okay.
Personally, okay, that's a fair point. But then personally, I like a challenge.
They all say that till you get one.
Are you sure you like a challenge?
I'm sure,
Ah,
100%. I wouldn't mind a woman who is an alpha, or I may say, alpha female.
Oh, you call them outfit.
Yeah, they're alpha.
good to know. We learn something every day.
Personally, I wouldn't mind that because of, in such a way, it's a motivation for you as a guy to want to be better every time.
Hey, it's giving Bob the Builder, man. Yo.
How is it Bob the Builder?
Because
You're
like,
trying to.
like you're gauging. I feel like it's competition, to be quite honest. Like you're competing with your woman. It's
Have you had the
But I
saying
don't
of
know.
a healthy competition?
That's not healthy.
Your woman is a person that you're seeing as healthy competition. I don't know. Please comment down below because I don't like it.
Okay, but back to the second question I had. How do you like differentiate between red flags and pet peeves? Because I don't know, in my mind, I'm just like, I was hearing you talk and I was just like, why does it feel like it's like kind of the same thing?
Nah, because when I mentioned the not smelling nice.
Yeah,
But, like,
the waitress being rude to waitress type of thing.
Yeah, well, so like I think with pet peeves, it's like small things that are small habits that can be
That's
changed,
true.
and then a red flag is more of a characteristic thing, one that you can't handle, and you know what's maybe a person's not willing to change this kind of characteristics.
Or they
And
don't
then-
even recognize it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or they don't even recognize it.
But then there's some things that you can just, overlook. Like smelling nice, something that you can just someday
Yeah.
come up with a cologne.
Yeah, and be like, I thought of you when I saw this.
Exactly. Yo, you see?
I thought this would smell so
It
good
can
on
just
you.
be easily improved.
Right? Let's try it now.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. I don't know, but like I don't know. I feel like yeah, but what if the guy says like no, he's fine with smelling the way he is? Then it's like there's some things that you can change, or there's some things you can't change.
Doesn't want to change. That's also another thing. When they don't want to change, I think I get.
Personally, it would be nice to see someone changing for me, but then I wouldn't want someone to change for me.
Exactly.
Kind of. Okay. I think I get that. But
get
repeat it one more time.
Okay, personally, I wouldn't want someone to change for me, although I would really appreciate it and it would be as romantic as, I don't know, it would be nice.
Okay.
But then I wouldn't want them to do that.
Okay.
It has
Something to think
happened
about.
though. It has happened. And it was, it was wow.
Like they're just making you depressed and things.
Yeah, they just, voluntarily changed that because they realized I didn't like it. Because for me, I'm one person I'm quite an open book. If I don't like something, if I hate it, whether you're already my girlfriend or we're at the stage whereby we're just, starting to see each other, dating, I'd say it right away. I don't like 1 and 2. Yeah. I don't like 1 and 2. I'm not gonna, shy away from saying it.
Okay. I want to talk about conflict in relationship. Conflict versus control.
Oof.
Powerful.
Conflict versus control.
So how is it? Okay. Sorry, do you want to say something?
No.
Okay. So, what is like the difference between the two?
I personally feel like what should I call conflict. Conflict, it's brought more often by miscommunication or not seeing things the same way, having a same picture for something. Whereas with control, I'd be like to you, hey, Shivona, I don't like you when you are wearing like this, You should stop wearing that.
Yeah, that's control.
That's controlling, I tell you what to do. So, yeah, that's my piece. I can say more, especially on conflict. Then go ahead.
I feel like conflict is when you're able to when you're able to see the problem as a problem, that we have a problem. And then control, I'd say, that is when you see a person as the problem. Does that make sense?
Does make sense.
Total sense, man. I loved how you summarized that. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like even on conflicts, I've had so many conversations with my sisters, and they've had like conflicts with like their best friends, and one of the things that they really liked to do is just, I don't know, in Zulu we say totoza, like when you're like begging someone, you're like, no friend, like I really want to understand what you're feeling. I don't understand why you did this to me. I know you don't have the best intentions, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
And that's them trying to not make the person the victim. I mean I don't know, what am I saying?
Making yourself the victim.
Yes, making themselves a victim, but then trying to put themselves, not assuming the worst of their friends' intentions. But then trying to be like, okay, why am I feeling like this? Am I really feeling like this? Does it make sense? And then they can conclude to be like, yeah, I did do that to you. I didn't mean to, but this is why I did what I did. And then, coming to a healthy kind of conflict. Yeah. Like their conflicts are like the cutest. It's so weird but inspiring, because adults don't fight like that.
Well, how old is your sister?
Although what I'm talking about, actually, she's 20.
Oh.
She's pretty old.
Because like when you said old, and I was like, wait.
But I don't know. I think it's because, I don't know if I'm wrong if I say it's because it's not a romantic relationship. But if I were to have a romantic relationship, I'd want it to be like that. I want that dozaring.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I can't match your descriptions of like control and conflict. So I'm not even gonna attempt to.
It is gonna be
But
interesting.
no, I think when it comes to conflict in a relationship, it's more of like when people like disagree, but then also when they refuse to see one another's perspective.
Oh,
That's a conflict.
I refuse.
Because if I'm like, obviously not like on stupid things like the sky is blue when you say red, like obviously, and you like, okay. But I mean like on a real problem, like where it's like you guys really can't find common ground. Like maybe by like budgeting, Let's say I'm the type of, I am the type of person that's like, I love to budget. I like to know like the way I spend my money, even though sometimes I'm like not good at it. But like, I love budgeting. I like the idea of budgeting, and I really want to implement that in my life. And then I meet someone or have a relationship with someone where he's like a total spender, and like our money's blown in a lot of debt. You see how that goes. So it's like, that's like something that's like impacts the relationship in a huge way, and we can't come to like to an agreement because we can't see it from each other's perspective.
There's no middle.
Yeah.
Like you guys are struggling to get to the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why I hate conflict. I personally hate conflicts. I don't wanna lie. I have been striving by all means to, learn how to deal with them in such a way that I would always be the one that have to apologize and understand. Even though, and we just give our scenario to different people and they'll just sit down with it, they'll realize, this one shouldn't be apologizing. The one who should be apologizing is this one. So what I've always tried to do is that not to look for who is right and who is wrong. But then, to just reach the conclusion that will be agreeable. I've always strived to do that because if it's something that I suffered with during my mission. Yo. You know when you're having that companion who is as stubborn as, I don't know, as a donkey.
As a donkey.
That transfer takes so long.
So for them to be able to agree with you, and even worse, at times you would have a companion whom, mission standards are there. So basically, what they'll be, the rules are already there. So basically, they'll be fighting you and the rules. So how would you even deal with that?
But then, isn't that bad for you mentally when you have to now just suck up and apologize for something that you didn't do?
It was draining.
It is draining. Because, even now you're aiming this fake notion of peace. I'm calling it fake notion because not speaking up for what's true, it's literally...
And also I feel like you prevent the person or your partner from growing. Because now you're taking the blame. So now they feel like I can do this all the time because I'm not going to be held responsible for it. There shouldn't be a right and a wrong person. But I feel like that can only be applicable to some situations.
That's true, yeah.
It can only go to a certain extent. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But for me personally, I just feel like it can only go to a certain extent. And there has to be, what I could say about a relationship is you guys have to be each other's best friends.
Most definitely, yeah.
So instead of okay, because he's my boyfriend, let me just allow him to do something. Think of him especially if he's your husband or something or wife. Think of I'm gonna grow old with this person and whatever not. See them as your best friend. And I think that's also what we struggle with. And I think that's why I have so many conflicts in relationship. Because a lot of us can't find common ground and know the difference between the two.
Sometimes I wonder if my sister, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this.
Sister, are you watching this?
I'll be wondering if, will I actually survive my sister if I was to date, someone like her?
Okay.
Yeah.
Repeat?
Would I survive someone who's who's like my sister? Would I, choose to endure that relationship? To be with someone like her in a relationship? And in fact, I first told her, and she knows that. And I was like, no, hell no. I ain't doing that.
In a way of how? In the sense of you guys fight a lot? In the sense of
That, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We do fight a lot and hey, people say I talk a lot. Hey, yo.
Throwing his sister under the bus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so since we covered conflict and control, how do we know the line between the two? When is it conflict versus when is it control? What's that line?
I feel like how you both answered it was perfect. What did you say that one again?
How you answered was perfect and then you completely forget what you said.
It was perfect.
The part where when we make it a problem, we're both against the problem, but then when I stop making the problem, you
see, I just didn't want to paraphrase it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She has it. That's the answer, guys. You all agree with that one.
Yeah. So that most definitely. And I feel like partners who are, controlling, they should literally stop that, man. They should think about it. If was it gonna be if it was towards them? You know, if my partner was as controlling as I am, you know, yeah. There are women who likes to be in charge, right?
Don't we know that?
Yeah. There are women who likes to be in charge and they'll be controlling their partners for days. You'd even see with the guy, this guy, he's only doing it to please. Of course, we should please our partners, but then at times there should be, a line, a limit. That's what at least I think. Okay. Vice versa with the guys. I once met with this other brother. He was like to me, whenever you know or hear a guy saying, I'm gonna say it in Zwana. Did you understand it? Okay, I'm gonna explain it. If a guy says, what he says, it goes every time. And knows that he's abusing his partner.
Oh. And that's like Zulu people also say that. It's like Shaya Samistatun. So like it's like the direct translation is like my shoe's the one that makes the sound.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's what I maybe believe most of South African they
do that, yeah.
Yeah, they do that. Guys, you see, that's how they show their patriarchy. But it's not necessarily like that, no. That's not how we would want to do things, to deal with, conflict and also exercise patriarchy on your family. You don't want to do that. I mean, personally, I feel like patriarchy at its true essence, it's you being the leader of the family and, managing a family in such a way as if you're managing a firm. You have meetings, or I may say family council, whereby, your wife, or I may say, your wife, your spouse, also children, they get to say what's within them. And then to show that you are a patriarch, at the end of the day, you are the one who decide what will go. But then without having to undermine your spouse, or I may say your children's mind, or I may say opinion.
Can I just comment on this before you go, Sibukazi? I think this is why I like the idea that in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we teach that God is the one, like the head in control, and then it's the husband and the wife on either side of like a triangle. Because it just makes you know that yes, you do have certain power, but most of the power goes to God in like the way of directing the relationship and being in charge of the relationship. Because a lot of guys, I think sometimes they just like to have the power, the pride, the ego, all of those things. And it's like, it's good, but then it's like to a certain extent you have to understand like you can handle there's better ways of handling things.
I think, this whole control thing can be, it can really escalate to something extremely dangerous. And I think that's what really scares me, because from literally small things as red flags that we are unable to pick up gets to a point where it escalates and unspeakable things happen. And, trying our best to be aligned with God, I think it really helps. I believe God protects us, and as well as also trying to also be aligned with their own standards. You'll be able to, I don't want to give it out and be like, this is a certain recipe of, you'll be able to say this one is not an abuser, this one is not, a bad patriarchy and what may not within a family household circumstance. But it just goes down to just how you handle conflicts, those small ones, those ones where how somebody lost their temper for like a small sweet. No, those small red flags do really, really help when we are able to be in tune with ourselves and be observant and trust your gut instincts. Because sometimes you get to a point where you know that you have that gut feeling, you're like you feel it, but then when you don't trust it, and then you knew that you weren't supposed, that you didn't trust it, you end up not trusting it again. Like, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but that gut feeling, you don't want it to deteriorate because you're not trusting it, but you need it to grow stronger because you're listening to it.
I actually had there was a talk about this by Elder David Abedna where he talks about how you have the voice of the Holy Spirit, kind of like your gut feeling, I guess, or in a similar sense to it. But he was talking about the Holy Spirit. So he's talking about how the more you listen to the Holy Spirit, the more it will tell you things. The less you listen to it, the less it you lose that companionship. And I thought that was super, super powerful because I think it also applies in relationships, and also goes with the gut feeling. I'm pretty sure there's some warning that you get, or you just know that it's wrong, but then sometimes you refuse to accept it. Other times you really can't recognize that it is wrong just because you want to focus on the green flags and ignore the red flags altogether. So then you never really realize there's a problem until escalates, like you were saying. So I agree with you 100%. I like that. Yeah. Thabo, you have any other last moments before we go to our next question?
Well, I think I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. We're just gonna, wait to hear the comments. Yeah, most definitely. And please do comment. We would like to hear your thoughts. Most definitely. They do mean a lot, and yeah.
And different perspectives. I mean, all of us have our own opinions and things, so throw them down. We would like to see them. But since we discussed conflict and control and what that looks like and how damaging that can get, what are your thoughts on healthy fights? How does that look like?
Whoa, that's interesting. First time ever I've heard that phrase, healthy fights.
Well, they exist.
They do. Okay, I would like to share a personal experience. I thought I had a healthy fight with someone, but I guess it was only healthy for me.
Oh my god.
I guess, I don't know. Because I thought there was this big problem that had faced us, and we're like, okay, I don't like it like this, and then I don't like it like this, and then we tried to compromise, and we got to a compromisation. To find out the person was also still not satisfied. And I was like, oh, I thought we had a good, healthy conversation about it. We brought up, I thought you heard what I heard and you felt what I felt, so we gonna go with what we had planned, our compromise. One thing led to another. The person wasn't comfortable with the compromise. Their way was much better than any other way. So now having to deal with someone like that was very difficult. But that was my first healthy conflict, and till this day I can say it was healthy. Even though it wasn't healthy for the other person, it was good for me.
Good for you, ladies. I wouldn't necessarily say I've had such or I haven't had it, but then maybe I just don't know how to classify them as, healthy fight or something. Yeah, because I just don't like fights. I don't have energy for that.
But okay, that's so avoidant though, don't you think?
Well, I'm very good at that. I'm very good at that, but then
Red flag.
I'm very good at that, but then if something need to be addressed, best believe
you'll address it.
I'll address it, and at times I'll be the first person to even do that.
But then that means you're addressing it from a space of anger, not to try and...
No.
Okay.
Remember what I said on our previous episode?
Yeah.
That I'm always calm, no matter what. People even wonder, do you ever get angry? They do wonder that.
No, wait. I also wonder that now. Because, if you're always calm and collected now, even in a relationship, do you ever, say what needs to be said? How you actually feel?
if you'd remember, on a previous episode, I did say that I don't shy away from saying anything, even
Okay, yeah,
from
you
the
did
get
say that.
going.
Never mind.
Even from the get going, I say it. I say things they were how they are. I don't even like Look at this donut. It's sugar coated.
Sugar coated.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person to sugarcoat things. I say things they weren't how they are because of I strive always to be honest with myself and others.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna shy away from saying something.
Okay.
Actually, really funny now. There was a good one. Was it a month or 2 months ago? Yeah, somewhere there. There's this elderly person. He comes to me and he was like, "I've never seen you being genuinely happy." Like
I've
seriously,
cried.
he said that.
I've cried. Someone ever
He
said
said
Does he know you?
He knows me.
Oh.
I've been around with him for I've even served with him in our fellow colleagues. I've served with him. So the thing is, I'm not kind of person to. Okay, my neighbor. This is what she says about me. She says I have a poker face, and also
Okay.
poker feelings. So you cannot necessarily tell how am I feeling, how are my emotions. So even when I'm happy, just chilled. There's a friend of mine who recently bought a car, and then other people who knows him, they're like, "Why aren't you celebrating? Why aren't you doing this, that, that?" This guy was chilled. I'm like, my guy, that's me. I guess it's just who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
But then otherwise, yeah, those healthy fights, maybe it could be, I don't know how to classify them. But then personally, as much as sometimes I just, avoid things for the sake of peace, but then I don't leave them for an overdue.
That's very important.
Yeah, I don't
Like
do
that's the
that.
mistake that we do, and then you find yourself
I don't do that.
unhealthy and
I just
depression.
say it from the get going. I like peace. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.
Okay, for me, if I had to like describe the healthy fight to you, right? I don't know if it's really an example, but like for me, I'd say like imagine you with someone and you're arguing, but instead of like throwing words or throwing things at each other, because people can do that. It's like you just like you step away for a minute to calm down, and then you get together to discuss. Like, in a way, it's like you're still fighting because you're disagreeing with each other. But then it's like in a healthy, more calm and relaxed way.
Let's just say then I've had a bunch of those.
Okay.
Okay.
Healthy conflicts. Well done.
But I agree with you. Like, sometimes it comes to a point where I think that's where dating comes back into play. You learn things from other people sometimes. Because for me, I learned this from someone else where we were arguing, disagreeing, and he was like, you know what, I'm not going to argue and fight with you right now. Calm down first, and then we can get together and talk about what is actually the problem. And I was like, that, I'll get so irritated at first because I'm like, I really want to say all of these things. But then it goes back to the fact that when you say words, you can't take them back.
Ish.
And I learned that one. Like in that relationship.
And
So
it's really an important one, Paulus. Never argue with a woman, especially when she's single. Just let her be.
just let her be. Okay.
Most definitely.
But I like it though. Okay, so the next question I want to ask is probably going to be a lengthy discussion, but I'm here for it. Why is talking about emotions seen as a weakness?
Ooh.
This is your stage, my brother. Yeah.
I feel like that's an easy one. In such a way, especially for us. Funny enough, it didn't happen with you as, woman.
Mm-hmm.
There are women who would shy away from, speaking their feelings. Probably like, I don't want to appear being vulnerable. why are you being in a relationship if you don't want to be vulnerable towards your partner? You see? So, for us guys, especially for me personally, I'm gonna just, own it. When you speak your feelings, if others don't think that you are weak, others at times they just, use that against you. Oh, that is his soft spot.
That's one thing I don't like about women. Continue. Sorry.
People are spiteful out there. That is his soft spot.
Well,
I'm gonna, use it against him. Best believe I'm gonna do it so that I piss him off. I genuinely get where this guy was coming from. This other time I'm having a conversation with this guy, and then he's like to me, my brother, at times you should press those buttons of your partner. Like literally, you should press them. You should know how she is when she is, extremely mad, when she's angry. What is she gonna do? Because if you don't wanna see that while you are living together, while you are married, imagine seeing that only when you are together, you've tied up everything. So you only get to see that during that time.
That's very hectic.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I agreed with him or I took that. I'm still processing it because if I remember I laughed at it. I never even commented at that. You see? So other people would literally genuinely do that. Press your buttons. And and do that to intentionally hurt you. Hence, for me, I don't like speaking of my feelings. But then, there's always those very few people that I would, speak out my feelings with. Just, speak without having to hold back. Before, what I would do is that I'd always speak with anyone, but then as a third person. I wouldn't make it as if it was me.
Your situation, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, I have a friend.
Exactly, that's what I would do. And, well, it was like growing up. Most of them, they were never, oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble. Most of them, they weren't as smart to get that it was from me. I think it's because of also they weren't necessarily paying attention into my life. So it was just easier to act as if I'm that third. Act as if that wasn't me, put it on a third person, there's this person and, does this and this and this. I'd even literally ask for an advice from you, but then as if I'm not the one who, is directly, you see. So I think, those are some of the reason why people don't like to, just genuinely share their feelings or be vulnerable around others because of, people be spiteful for days.
Yeah. I think for me, so I won't lie, I sometimes do struggle with also sharing my emotions. I feel like I don't want to be misunderstood. I feel like there's this notion of, oh, she's being overly dramatic, or she's being too emotional, or she's being a woman right now. So sometimes I try my best to be like, Aibo, does this logically make sense? Because in my head it does, and I wanted to make logical sense so I can get to this logical so-called man as well.
So cool.
Because that's what men say we are. We're like not as logical as they are in certain circumstances.
Most definitely.
But I also...
Did you hear that whisper?
But I also like agree to a certain extent, because like I think it comes back to the part of like, how do we create that space in our relationships where we allow both me and this individual to be emotional or vulnerable, to allow them to see us in our weaknesses and all these different types, but just to like allow them to really let you in. Because I think a lot of people are just out there and like we're so focused on like maybe we have an experience where it's like my first experience ever, I'm talking to someone and I'm expressing my feelings, but this person is like either not listening, not paying attention, doesn't care, shows no interest, or like you say, use it as like collecting bullets to ambush you, you know? It's like, how do you create that space? Because it's like for me, when it comes to that, I'm just like, if someone had to do that to me, there's no way I would trust again. And I think that's mostly the problem. People don't want to open up again a second time when they're already being let down the first time.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I personally, feel like there's this, I don't know if should I call them a friend or what, but then okay, I'm just gonna borrow the word a friend for now. There's this friend of mine who would say to me, if someone doesn't know you, they would think that you are overly sharing. You share everything to its tip. But then they realize that I'm not more of a person who would just, overly share. So I think it goes back towards that when, share certain things emotionally. So you should be mindful if, the person wouldn't, come back and, be spiteful because of that. You should limit what you're sharing for your own safety.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. That would most definitely take you a long way. Because I've had people who would even believe that if you overshare, other people tend to use it to disrespect you.
Okay.
To disrespect you. Let's say you just met with Sipokasi, and then when you
No, go. Sorry, I don't have a big mouth.
no, just go ahead.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like a lot of people bottle up. This is like a cycle. You share something, you have this bad experience, and then you bottle it up, and it continues to the next relationship where you don't share, and the person feels like you can't like show emotion or you can't be vulnerable, and it goes like it's like a cycle. So how do we break that cycle? How do we create the space for like people to feel free?
That's a good one. And personally, I feel like if you get to share, actually, I'm one of those people that other people, even if you are not close to me, they find it easier to share with me.
Okay.
Like literally.
That's true. Like no, not in your sense. I just mean like in the sense of like people can go to
Okay. Okay. So what even amazed me, I was still a teenager. That was like back in, was it 2017 or when? Somewhere there. There was this mother. I was
Do your calculation.
there was this sister. She reprimanded me for doing something. Okay. She was like, no, you shouldn't do this, that. Only to find out few months down the line, that something hit her back. Okay. I don't know how to explain it, but then I don't want to, explain it in such a way that I'll be disclosing many things. So, and then she came back to me and she was like, sorry. She came to me basically apologizing for, how she responded towards how I handled things that time, only to realize that you're actually not wrong when you were doing that, and that's how our bond actually grew stronger. She's an older woman, but then we are close for days. We are really close. Okay, so and then she was like to me, I'm sorry for this, Thabo ngwanaka, you see, and then with that being said, she ended up sharing, and tears were shed.
Aww.
Yeah.
Wow. That's how you know you like opened up and let everything
Yeah.
put on the table.
She shed some tears, and I was like, whoa, okay, I didn't see that coming. And it keeps on happening. People who aren't even as super close with me, they'll just come and share. And I think it's just come naturally with me that, I respect that. I don't just get to, share that because of you. Share it with me confidentially. Why should I, share that? I should give you that courtesy of being, respectful of whatever that you shared with me. That's what I expect with also other people when I share. So it starts with an individual to create that environment whereby you can be able to share with others and they can also reciprocate the same energy. So if you create that environment, most definitely your partner would most definitely be able to, share. If you don't create that environment, I don't think they'll be able to do that.
I agree. I won't even lie, I forgot the question. If you could kindly remind me the question again.
It's just
Okay, so the question was, how do we go about creating that space?
How do we go about creating that space?
That vulnerable space
That
in
vulnerable.
a relationship.
Asking relevant questions, being like, hey, will you be able to hold space and just listen to me today? I want to just vent about this thing that happened. I'm not looking for a solution. I'm not looking for anything. I just need somebody to listen to me and be like, yeah, be my hype woman. Or be my habit. Like, be specific in what you need at that moment in time. We need the words to tell people what they need to be for us. So, even with that, I think that's so important. Then people can be effective in playing their role in your life. Yeah. It's easier said than done, though. Yeah. Because sometimes you have these big feelings and you don't know what they are or how you need help. But also just sit down, maybe be like, yeah, maybe I just need somebody to listen to me, and then be like, okay, after they've listened to you, what are your thoughts on that? Do I make sense? Do I not? Does my mathematics adding? And then that's how you create a genuine safe space, one with no judgment as well.
I like that. I think all in all, it goes to the idea of letting your guard down, which is so difficult. Because you never know if you're able to like trust the person and like how far are you willing, like how far can you trust the person? Because it all goes with like, because once that guard is down, it's like there's no way you can. But one thing I can say is like emotional intimacy is so powerful in a relationship.
Most definitely.
Into me you see.
Yes,
That's a good one.
yes. It got to a point, like from my personal experience, it got to a point where I was with someone and it was like we were so emotionally attached to it. It was like you could see what's going on in each other's minds without like having to say something.
Yeah.
And that's how it was like. It was scary for like both of us because it's like you say, you can see into me, right? But at the same time, it was like I think it also gets to the point where it's like you can be with someone. Like let's say for an example, I think all of us have like a way that we grew up, with how our mothers nurtured us or how we were nurtured in life. But when it comes to like a relationship sense, like it also goes to show when you're listening to someone and them breaking down and letting out, you can't force what you want. Like if I had to go to Sibukaze and I'm like, if I'm sad, I want someone to hold me, right? But then you said and I'm like, I want to hold you, but that's like my thing. Like, you know, I don't know what yours is. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that I think also has to be revealed in like a relationship.
Like your
Like
love language. Like
yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it love languages, conflict languages, what's comfort languages. Yeah.
All the languages that
All
they
of
use.
them, yeah.
Look at them lover girls.
Yes, we love it, girls.
Like he's not a lover boy, but anyway, no, but like really, like I feel like that's one of the things that also have to be talked about, how you want to be comforted, because you can break down and cry, but you also don't want to like have anyone touch you, like you know, you don't want to be comforted, you don't want to like, maybe you need like food, good food, you know, there's different ways of comforting, and I think that also has to be discussed in a relationship. Just throwing that out there.
That's actually interesting. I never thought about it.
Me neither. Until I was in a relationship. And I was like, I don't know what happened, but in the relationship, it was like, I was with this guy, and this guy was like, no, you're responding with the way, how you want to be comforted, not the way I. And it just caught me off guard. So I was like, nah, that is definitely something that has to be shared also in like a relationship sense. How are we, so now that we're discussing like the importance of emotions in a relationship, right? And helping couples understand each other, see each other in different lights, how are we able to set boundaries without feeling guilty?
Personally, boundaries come naturally with me. It's within me. You're gonna see if I don't like something. Yeah. I mean, even some of them I don't even need to explain them. And I don't remember feeling guilty for being real to myself. Because I feel like if you are to feel guilty after setting boundaries, then you're not being true to yourself.
Okay.
That's how I feel. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't remember feeling guilty for being true to myself. I mean, that means I'm not gonna be happy in that relationship if I don't, state or disclose what I stand for from the get going. Yeah.
I like that.
My mom once told me that, us as so-called loving human beings and helpful human beings, we want to make other people's burdens our burdens.
Shouldn't.
And even coming with that, it's not that you gave me your burden. No, it's I took your burden. Like I made your burden my burden. And that's sometimes something that we do. And because we started with taking people's burdens, our boundaries become undefined. Our boundaries become difficult to put back because now you've allowed something to shake, something that you didn't want to be shaken to begin with. So just dating back to my mom's words, don't take something that is not yours.
Cool.
Sounds
Okay.
Yeah,
Especially that. Okay.
and as you started from there, then you won't feel guilty for it. You'll even thank yourself in the future to be like, yo, imagine if I took that. And I'm such a small girl. Can't carry that. Yeah. In case you choke, my guy. Be careful when I talk, don't eat.
I'll remember it next time.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I don't know. I think with setting boundaries, it comes to just back to communication. I think that's one of the most important things in a relationship. When you're able to communicate with each other and be openly about it, then you're able to set boundaries. But like knowing, okay, forgive me because I listen to a lot of talks. But like there was this one talk I was listening to about Elder Jeffrey R. Holland, where he was saying that with him, he said, I think they were celebrating 50 years, 20 years, I don't know how long.
Anniversary?
Yeah, like the anniversary. Like I don't know how long him and his wife Patricia were together. But the title of the talk was something about how we do things together. I'll comment it in the description. But either way, the point I'm trying to make is he was saying that he doesn't know everything about her, but he knows 20 years worth of what, like, of her. He knows exactly what will hurt her and what will help her, like strengthen her. So I'm thinking when it comes to boundaries, you know what's gonna hurt your partner. Whether it's 2 years worth, 3 months, 6 months, you get to learn the person. You know exactly what's gonna hurt them. You know how to like phrase yourself to prevent that from like happening. And so I think when you get to setting boundaries without feeling guilty, it comes to talking, communicating, but in a sense of like a nice way. Like,
You know, may I?
mm-hmm.
As long as if I'm respectful with what I'm saying and honest, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm being be respectful, and also I'm being honest. What's there not to like? It may hurt the receiver, but then at least I'm being honest with you and with myself.
I mean, truth does hurt, so you have a point. But it's like, there's a way also, like, you know, like sometimes you know when things are rude and sometimes you can like sugarcoat. What is a euphemism or something, the English word for it? It's where it's like, instead of just saying like, I hate you, like, you know, something that, like, saying that could hurt your partner, especially if she's like very, very sensitive. Whereas you can just be like, I don't like when you do this, but like, or like you can start like, baby, I love you, babe, I'm here for you, but can we please, I would really appreciate if we could work on this so that we are able to like complement each other better.
It does make sense. It does.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, like how you can set boundaries without being-
Basically, being nice. Say it nicely, in a nicer way.
Yes.
Nice, yeah.
Because like I feel like there's so many things where people in like, especially in a relationship, you can say something that hurts someone and then also you keep quiet about it.
Oh boy.
That's the other problem.
I'm guilty of that.
You keep quiet about it. Please make me an example. I don't get it.
Like let's say I'm like with you and I'm like, oh, you have like a nice pink sweater, I like it or whatever, right? And then now I know saying the opposite would hurt you. Like, this is ugly or something. Like, what you're wearing is... Okay, that's probably a bad example. Anyway, but like, what she's wearing
But then
is
it's a
ugly.
typical example. I think you get it when she says that.
So now I know that I'm hurting you in saying that, but I'm saying it anyway.
Oh, okay. I
You
get
understand?
it. Yes.
And so many things get to girls.
Also, man, you would be shocked. Oh, also, man, you would be shocked.
I didn't mean that example per se.
You'd be
I understand. It's just, little things get to, okay, people. Let me put it sincere what you're
Yes.
saying also, Ben. Get to
She was
people.
looking at you with a death stare.
It's not even a death stare, guys. Like, I think we sometimes downplay how men actually feel in certain situations. Like,
We do.
like shame.
Absolutely.
Poor men out there. There's others that really do need you to, the doors are them and be
Gentle
there
with
and
their
gentle
feelings.
with them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing's wrong with that. I think it's so beautiful.
It's nice. Yeah. It's
And then there's others that are just like, hey, dude, clean up, my boy. And then you get the
That's
vibe.
me.
Translate, guys. Is that act
No, yes.
Okay. Never mind.
Sorry.
The spirit is like just helping
Sorry,
me.
oh, man.
Keep someone what's happening here. Reading in between the lines.
Yeah, and that's you.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, I don't know. But then, yeah, what I was trying to say is that, in as much as there are people like me who just like to say things they weren't how they are, with that being said, first and first, one should be respectful and also try to be as nice as possible, whilst also being honest.
Oh, it's changed now. There's 3 of them. I like it for you.
He's growing.
Yes. I like it. I like it. I like
This
it.
is a cold space.
It is a growth
is.
space. I love that.
We need that. We
We
need
do.
that.
Me too. Maybe we can play a game
Ooh.
to end it off.
Before we do, I really
Yes.
want to touch on something that he just mentioned, and you also, I think,
Yeah.
about men, where it was like, guys, when it comes to like emotions and being vulnerable, it's a lot difficult for guys, and I think most of that is because of like the way society places them, in this position where they have to toughen up, where they feel like they can't allow themselves to be vulnerable, and I think it also goes hand in hand with when females do the same, where it's like you don't create that space, like, so I'm kind of like summarizing everything we just said, but like creating that space for a man to feel like he doesn't have to be tough around me, because not just males that have the perspective of guys need to be tough, but females have it too.
Yeah.
So then it's like, because both of you guys see it in that way, it's never that no change takes place, because you just feel like my guy needs to be tough. Like whether he's losing his mom, whether he's losing his best friend, whether work is like stressing him out, he needs to be tough. And I think that is like such a
It's pretty toxic.
yeah, it really is, and it's like
As if,
Well,
as if
I think
they're
a
not
stereotype.
human. Yeah.
as much as I have just agreed with you that men need to be strong. I believe in biologically essence, or in the way on how things are for nature. Naturally, we are emotional beings as men as well. We're emotional beings. They like the saying of women are emotional tied, while we are logical. We might be as logical as the world thinks that we are, but then in a deeper essence we are also emotional beings.
Yeah.
That's why we are able to fall in love. That's why we are able to be happy and all that. So in as much as we allow those emotions to show. If I'm able to show myself while I'm happy, while I'm in love and all that, might as well show yourself when you're sad. Okay? Cry if needed be.
Can you cry?
That's a good question. You're not the first one to ask that, actually. People keep on asking that. Do you cry? While a secret about me is that I don't just cry easily. I cry when mostly things are spiritual. And most of the spiritual moment that, I create first an environment for that, spirituality. So more often when I cry, it's when, I'm praying. Most of things are very spiritual. I have to ponder in it. You see? So, yeah, I do cry, but then unfortunately you'd never see me cry.
I was gonna be like, whoever gets to marry him,
Let us know. when he
wifey,
cries.
just know he's not gonna be crying whilst you walk down the aisle. Just giving it to you as it is.
Unfortunately, it's like that. But then, yeah. Man, if you need to cry, cry. If it's something that's gonna help you heal, do cry. If it's a good thing, why not? Don't shy away from doing that.
And when it comes to doing that, and your woman or whoever judges you, or even if it's like vice versa, if the woman cries and the man judges you, just know that, like, talk about it. Tell them how it made you feel, Because I think that's the only way we can all heal each other. If we discuss it. Like, I know it's probably going to be so weird to be like, but then again, like, you guys are dating, so it shouldn't be weird. But like, if it is weird in the case of like texting someone or like physically meeting them and being like, I want to tell you that like when I was expressing my emotions, it really hurt me that your response was this. Because sometimes it could just be due to a misunderstanding. Other times it might be like, this was really the woman's reaction. And that way, you know, like, red flag, stay away, break up, move along. Or other times, I think it's more of like just holding on and working through it together.
Like
Okay, so on that note, we will end. Comment down below what you guys think. Let's get into our game.
Yes. All right. So our game is gonna be Would You Rather.
Oh my goodness.
Typical game, but it's nice. It's pretty good. A little light. So we'll start with an easy one. Would you rather be a superhero or be a be an animal?
That's
And which
interesting.
one?
That's interesting. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do not look at me, I'm not going first.
Oh boy, come on.
Honestly, all I have right now in my mind is Marvel characters. So I'm like,
Marvel girl.
Low-key, I think I want to be
like Black Widow.
Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're both black. We're
Yeah.
twinning anyway in like our minds.
Yeah.
But telepathy, whatever you call it.
I think I'd be such a cool Black Panther. Short but really cute.
With high heels.
Platforms.
Being an animal doesn't come up with responsibilities while
Out
being...
of all the DC and Marvel characters, you went to animal.
But I don't blame him. Do you know how
No.
like free you'd be, like, and not accountable of anything?
I haven't decided.
But I get you. Like, if for example, if I was like a dog, I'd go bite a cat and like just know, just to
Just to know what it's like.
yeah.
I'm just trying to weigh my options. You know, while being a hero, it can be, you know, heroic even for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you are all powerful. But then it comes with a bunch of responsibilities. If I choose an animal or if I choose a hero, do I need to be specific?
Yes.
Come on. Okay. Okay, I would be Thor.
Thor. Okay.
I was waiting for the animal.
Me too. After the whole cook-up of
No, the thing is, you know, with being an animal, you're always a victim. You see how you made example with the dog. And you just go and bite the cat.
That was one
There'll be
example.
No, but then all animals are victims. Even a lion is a victim towards us as humans.
Humans,
You know?
yeah. But then you won't be held responsible for that. You're just doing what you gotta do to survive.
If I was an animal, I want to be something that's short-lived but huge, like a giant. I don't want to be small. I'm small in this life. I can't be
An
small.
elephant,
But it's not
a
short-lived.
whale.
It's not
Short-lived.
short-lived.
Oh,
Like I want the experience of like traveling everywhere, like being everywhere. Like, you know, it's, I don't know that.
But you wouldn't
But like-
experience
but then what would that be?
the world that way. You wouldn't experience it like the way we experience it.
That's true.
You wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, that's the Eiffel Tower. You're just gonna be like, oh, another scrap of metal. You know?
Ooh, okay.
But then
I
what would
not
that
think
be?
of it like that. But let's not be
Which
traveling the
animal would it
world.
be? Which animal would that be?
Like okay, I don't know how big you'd like it to be, but I thought of like a eagle or an owl.
That is small. That is
I know they
smaller
s-
than my height that I am right
I
now.
know, but there's
So,
no big
what's
animal
in
that
your mind?
travels.
In my mind, it's
It's
something I'm
short-lived.
bigger than I am right now. Because I'm short. I don't want to be short in like...
But then do you have that specific animal at least in your head? Or
I
not?
don't. I don't know what it is. Google. Someone there, Google, comment. You know. If you're studying animals...
That one. Okay, next one. Would you rather sleep for all eternity
Yes.
Oh
or stay awake for all eternity?
Oh boy. Personally, I don't like to sleep, so
Stay awake.
for all eternity. Yeah.
Like you can't sleep. Like there's no.
As tormenting
That
as
sounds torture either way.
exactly as tormenting as sometimes would it be, but then I'd rather stay awake for eternity. I don't like sleeping. Hey, going to bed, it's a challenge, guys. It's a challenge. I mean, you don't sleep.
He's shooting the shots, man. He's like, you didn't sleep. Oh gosh.
Hey, I shared that in confidentiality.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, but I'd sleep. I don't know because I'm.
What would you
tired
do?
right now.
I'm tired right now. It's such a struggle to keep my eyes open right now. I'm like,
Yes.
sleep.
I think one reason is because of I like being productive.
I got to get katsalega to be productive.
Remember when you are awake. Remember when you are awake for all eternity, so that means you don't get tired.
No, you will get tired. Okay, yeah, fine. It's my game. You do get tired.
She's making the rules.
You know when you are sleeping for all eternity, there's certain things what you only do, it's the dream. So then
Yeah, so I get to live like different characters without
it's
doing anything.
Literally.
do you know a nightmare that needs you to wake up? It literally needs you to wake up.
This is us. We're always
Yeah.
arguing about
Fair enough.
something. We've
Fair
never agreed on everything, like all three of us at once. So
Okay.